What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of Kicking It B. I'm your host, your boy B, and I'm kicking it with you solo today, but I want to talk to y'all about a couple things that kind of caught my eye over the past week or so. So, as you may know, I do IT, whatever, like I'm in the tech, and recently Elon Musk did his Weave robot exhibit where he announced a couple new Tesla devices coming up. And the standout ones, the whole lineup was the Robo Taxi, the Robo Van, but the standout one was the Tesla robot or android, humanoid android, and it's freaky as hell. Like the way it it's getting a lot of memes online, but it's iRobot. And matter of fact, he called it We Robot, so it's not even that clever. But iRobot, and this humanoid android is meant to be like a personal assistant to humans. Like the video it showed, like the demo it showed was it went to go get your package from the door. It watered the plants. He talked about how it could watch the kids. Absolutely not. And he also talked about how it could walk the dog and stuff like that. So basically, it's meant to support human life. Like we're busy, we may not have the time to do certain things. So it's like, yo, I have my android do it. And at the event, he had a couple of them come out. They came out like a little army. They stumped out. It was cool. It was cool. It's interesting. A lot of the big tech people were there. MKBHD was there. Uh, Funny enough, it was either offsite or it was Two Chains. Two Chains was there. He interacted with the robots and they like high fived and like they showed how they move and stuff. And it's funny because Elon was the main one talking about how AI is something we need to look out for, right? He was telling us to be hesitant about AI, don't embrace it fully. But then he goes and drops an Android that uses AI and cars that use AI, right? And I Tesla has always intrigued me, like the concept of it. The cars are really cool. Like I like the design. I think the design was cool. Matter of fact, I bought little Hot Toys recently at the store for $1. The Tesla Model 3. Like I think they look cool, but I never actually experienced it. Like I looked it up, like the autopilot features and stuff like that, how far you can travel off a charge. Like the Tesla cars are cool and they've taken over the roads. It used to be more of a luxurious car and it used to be few in between, kind of like the Cybertruck is now. But now they're pretty common. They got a couple of dealerships. They got one near me over in Decatur, and it's like Teslas have really taken the world by storm. And like I said, I know of them, like I know what they can do, but I've never driven one. When it came time to buy a new car, it wasn't the first thing on my mind. Um, so seeing where it kind of went, like I know he has the SpaceX thing that's kind of cool too. Like he has his hands on a lot of things. Technically, I don't really like to do personally, but as far as like the things he's created, the initiatives he moved forward in technology, like I like those. But yeah, and I'm pretty hesitant about the Android. One of the main reasons is uh, I know we've all seen The Matrix, but the prequel to The Matrix is called The Animatrix. It's like this anime movie. It's like a what's it called? An anthology where it's several different stories, but they kind of all have similar themes. And the first one, it's crazy because it actually lines up to what we're experiencing now. Humans created an AI, and from there they embraced it. They used it for everyday life. It made their life more convenient. Then humanoid androids were created to support humans, which is exactly what this is. And they incorporated the AI with it. Things were great, but then one of the androids killed his human because he was going to shut him down, and he didn't want to die because he became sentient. He didn't want to die. He thought his life was just equal as the humans. So he not only killed the human, he killed his family, he killed his dog. But he claimed he did it in self-defense. Went on trial, and the humans, of course, were like, "No, you gotta, we're going to shut him down. We're going to destroy him." They destroyed him. So they killed the human. There were sympathizers that were human. There were robots that picketed about it, protested about it, to the point where humans just outwardly destroyed the androids to push them out, and they pushed them out to this one little city. They created their own city. Androids had their own city while the humans pushed them all out. And then from there, that's kind of how the Matrix started. The androids started building stronger versions of themselves, building weapons. They released the plague. Humans were afraid of them because they were like solar powered, I think it was. So the humans came out with a plan to block the sun out because then they couldn't, like, why would you do that? We got to grow plants. But anyway, they blocked the sun out. And then that's kind of how the Matrix started. The humans tried to sign a treaty, but then the androids blew themselves up and killed the humans' leadership took over the world, pushed humans underground, and that's how we got the Matrix. So that's the kind of thing that blows my mind. Like tech has advanced so much over the decades. It started with I think the most advanced technology we ever got, like to kind of kick it off, was the smartphone. Like we had Blackberries, but Blackberries were really just cell phones with keyboards, which was fine. But then when the iPhone, the G1, the Android, the iOS all started coming out, like the advances have just been so drastic over the years. The iPhone came out 2007, and it's made so many advances over the years. Camera, Siri, processing speed, battery speed, like all these different components. And then like computers got better. Now we got AI, we got Chat GPT, now we got phones with AI in it, which I'm gonna get to it shortly. It's like no escaping it. It's like you have to embrace it or get left behind. And that's the tough part about it. It's like because technology moves so fast, we have to keep up with it. But it does have its downsides. Like there's stores in Seattle that are fully automated, where Amazon, you can just go in and buy stuff. You don't need clerks. I'm assuming they have people to stock the shelves. I'm assuming. I mean, it makes sense. In fact, my daughter was excited. We went to a Chick-fil-A here one day, and it was a robot delivering food, like in the store. Like the world is getting closer and closer to the Matrix, which is scary, but also like Wally. Like we're letting technology do a bit too much for us, but it's cool, but it's kind of scary at the same time. So as I was saying, like I was familiar with Teslas before. It wasn't until recently, like I went to lunch with a coworker and he had a Tesla, and me and my other coworkers, we were all excited about it. We were like, yo, we never drove in a Tesla. Like we see a ton of Cybertrucks by our office. Like I work in the city, and like so many Cybertrucks. One of the people that work on my job has a Cybertruck. They're ugly as hell, but they're cool. Like I watched so many demonstrations of them and what they can do compared to like regular trucks or regular cars, the acceleration, all that kind of stuff. And which is interesting because I think this car doesn't have an engine in it. It runs off a chip, a computer chip at that. So our coworker was telling us about the Tesla. He was like, yeah, I can get this far off a charge. It costs me this much to charge. I got this plan with Georgia Power within a certain amount of hours. It's cheaper for me to charge. And then he was just talking about how it drives. So we went to lunch. We were all hanging out. It was a Friday. It was kind of slow. So we were like, yo, let's go all do lunch. We're going to all be out for an hour. It'd be cool. So we went out and did lunch. And we hop in this Tesla. And as we're leaving like the office to go on the highway, the street's empty. So as he turns onto the highway, he accelerates. This thing goes like, I don't know how fast it was, but it felt like it went 0 to 100. Like for real. Like it shot out like instantly. And then he demonstrated the autopilot, showed how it works, showed how it can be. So the big little monitor thing showed the vehicles on the left and the right. And you would think it shows like, if you use Google Maps, you have the option to put like a little blue truck as your arrow icon. You would think it shows something like generic like that, but it literally shows like all the cars and all the different designs of the cars. It's like it scans them all. So on the left side, there were two 18-wheelers. It showed 18-wheelers on there. On the right, it was an SUV. In front of us, it was a coupe. On the other side, it was the sedan or whatever. It showed them in full detail on the screen. They weren't like colored or anything, but they were like grade, like shaped icons, kind of like sonar in a sense. You know what I mean? But with the full size. And it was crazy because he put in autopilot, and it knew to watch out, did the little 4-second rule in between. He took turn signal on. It knew to wait till there was enough space to turn. It took the time to turn and examine what was behind it, what was in front of it. It was crazy. At the end of it, we were all like, shocked. I was shocked because, like I said, I never driven one before. But I found out you could do a free test drive, so I'm gonna go do one. One of my coworkers just texted me today and told me he went to go do one today. And he was like, bro, I'm buying one. It's crazy. But at the same time, it's cool, but it's scary because Joy and I watched this movie a while back. It's called Leave the World Behind with Mahershala Ali. And I want to say Kevin Bacon. Don't quote me on that. I don't know celebrities like that, but I want to say it was Kevin Bacon. And something crazy went on in the world. They had to leave the world. They went away on vacation, but something crazy was going on. They were so cut off and whatnot. But then they were just like out and about, and they were like, what's with all these pileups? And on that highway exit, it was a bunch of Teslas like crashed blocking the highway, so you couldn't get out of the area you were in. So they're standing there. Here comes a car, super fast. They look, and it's a Tesla, and it turns out the Tesla was being hacked. Not saying that can happen. Not saying that has happened in real life. It may have. I got to look it up. But it's like that concept of a car that can be hacked and not manually controlled, no engine, like it runs solely off a chip. That's a little scary. Like that's a little scary, especially the Cybershot. These things are bulky, like really bulky. Like they take up. It looks like they take up more space than like a normal car. When I saw one parked in the parking space in my job, it was like right on the sides of it. So it's really crazy, and that going at as fast as it can, terrifying. But I like it. I like Teslas. The cars are cool. I don't know how I feel about this Android. And he was talking about the price going to be about $20,000. He said he's not sure on that, but it'll be less than a car because he wants to put it in houses. He wants to make it accessible to everybody. And me just watching that movie Animatrix back when I was younger was like, that's enough for me to be like, I'm good. I'm good. Like I saw that movie and I'm like, I'm okay. It's just too much. It's just too much. What else? So yeah, he did the robo taxis and robo vans. So basically, the robo taxi is what it sounds like. It's an automated vehicle, but it has no steering wheel whatsoever. Like those things exist, like the Waymos. Like excuse me, when me and my boys were in Vegas, we saw the Waymos. It was a car that was self-driving, but it had like a ton of cameras. Like it wasn't the most appealing looking car. And personally, we were like, we're good. Like I just don't feel comfortable with it because it came up as one of our options for Uber. And like I think when Joy went to San Francisco, she rode in one. She took a video and everything. Like it's cool, but I don't trust it. But the robo taxi is a little more stylish. It looks like a Tesla, but it's like gold. Has like it looks really robotic. So the name robo taxi like makes sense. But what does I say? Yeah, it has no steering wheel. It just has that big monitor. Like you literally just send in, strap in, and knows that you're in. It closes the door. You put in your destination. It takes you. Sounds like a good idea, but it really will put people out of jobs. People drive Uber for a living. I got a homie that drives Lyft, for a living, and enjoys it. But you do robotaxi, that kind of eliminates the purpose for it. See, that's the problem with the AI. It replaces people because it can do certain things that people can do that are looked at as easily replaceable. So I have feelings about it. And also, I don't really feel right about driving in a car that has absolutely no steering wheel. That means you're really leaving your life up to this robot. It makes me think of the scene in Captain America Winter Soldier where Bucky grabbed the steering wheel, took it out. Like, that's a terrifying feeling. Imagine being on a highway 65 miles per hour with no steering wheel. You can't brake or anything. Your life is up to this car. And I'm assuming it has airbags and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I still don't feel comfortable doing it at all. Um, the RoboVan was another item that he showed. Think of it like a party bus. It was a van that fits people. It looks stupid. It looks like a bullet train in Japan, but it looks stupid. I don't like the gold colors of it. I mean, I'm hoping these are just prototypes, but I'm not feeling it. And the RoboVan, if you watch Star Wars, and if you remember Clone Wars, like how the clone troopers used to be in the deployment ships, that's what it looks like. Matter of fact, no, in iRobot, the robots were in a vehicle kind of similar. If I can find it, I'll add the image like right here or whatever. But like it was like a shuttle. They would open up and then they would like drop out. And same thing with Star Wars too. The robots in that during the Clone Wars, they would just be in machines. They would just drop open the sides and drop out. That's what it looks like. Nothing stylish about it. Nothing stylish about it. Like it looks sleek on the outside, but it's kind of dull looking. Like aesthetically, like he doesn't really have style like that. Like I said, the Tesla looks nice, but the certain models like the 3, I'm going too in depth and whatever, but the wide looks dumb, but the 3 looks great. And again, the Cybertruck does not look that great. But I wanted to talk about that because it was something that me and my homies would talk about at work, and I'm looking like this is really where we are in life. Is this something that we're really accepting as people? At what point do we begin to become uncomfortable with this? Like AI is cool. You can use AI to help you, pardon me, use it to help you write something. It can help you get your wording correct in an email. It helps you create a document, help you create an image. But at what point are we comfortable letting it watch our children, letting it in our home? How can you feel comfortable sleeping when there's an android that's walking around your house? Like, Siri is unpredictable. Siri is unpredictable. You know what I mean? Like, I say one thing to Siri, she says something else. I say whatever. I'm shocked it didn't activate right now, but it's like I don't trust it, man. I just don't, and that's me being skeptic. But yeah, it's not for me. It's not for me. It's cool, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, I'm good. Um, what else? So yeah. Anyway, like I said, last one of these episodes recently, I've been put up a few. I can't remember exactly which one, but I got a new iPhone 16. I want to talk about my experience with it so far. I went from a 14 to a 16. I did it because there was a benefit. Basically, I paid less money on my bill while still having a newer phone, which I'm okay with. Because why pay more for less, right? Anyway, so I got it. I like it. Overall, the use is still the same, right? So the selling point that they pushed repeatedly was Apple Intelligence. It's not here yet. I had the phone since it launched September 20th. Today, actually, dang, today is October 20th. So it's been a month with it, and the feature's still not here. Okay. So I feel like they sold me something incomplete, and this is not the first time they've done that. There's something else that they released. I can't remember, but they sold me something, which is great. I enjoy it. Like the battery life is fantastic. That is phenomenal. Like I wake up 4 a.m. in the morning, and I use the phone from 4 a.m. to like get off at 6ish, right? Without charging it, I'm still at like 30% battery at that point. And I'm talking, I'm reading on my phone, using YouTube on my phone, I'm calling, I'm listening to music, you know, I'm on social media sites, scrolling, whatever. Like the battery is phenomenal. I'm here for that. That's great. And like I said, the benefit of USB-C, fantastic. Haven't put a USB-C charger in my car yet though, so I'll be kind of screwed on the way home. But I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna buy one. I'm just being cheap. I'm trying to get back to that adjustment because I still had to use Lightning for my AirPods. So it's like I still have a Lightning cord. But anyway, the phone is cool. It's cool. Apple Intelligence will drop later this month. I think the 26th or the 28th. One of those. I know it's an even number, but I'm excited for it because I get to play around with it. But again, it's not all the features. It's some features. But again, I'm excited to play around with it. Also updating my Mac to macOS Sequoia. Now that I love. It has a feature where I can mirror my phone. So I was at work the other day and I left my phone in my office, but I was doing something on my Mac. I was on my lunch and I was editing an episode. But I was able to go on my phone and get like search Instagram, search whatever, search my notes, any application. Basically, I could use my phone without being on my phone, just because it was on the same Wi-Fi network. That is a really cool feature that I like, and that's one of the things that I really love about the Apple ecosystem is like it all really connects, right? And that's the beauty of it. Um, but overall, like the iPhone 16 right now, if you haven't, well, now if you buy it, you're fine. But if you bought it on lunch, you just been having the phone. Uh, it hasn't really been worth the upgrade from the jump. But again, you know, happy to save some money, so that worked for me. What else? What else is going on? It's an election year. Like I said, it's today. Today is October 20th, so it's an election year. It's a couple days before the election, and I am annoyed and tired of it. Everything is an ad for either candidate. It's like, okay, I'm watching YouTube. Thank God my coworker hooked me up with UBM, UBM. Oh gosh, with YouTube Premium because we'll watch. We'll play music at work while we work, and YouTube ads kept coming up, and literally every time it was either Trump or Kamala, or it's like, I'm tired of it, and I'm getting these random text messages, and it's just there's ads online. It's just too much. Like I get it, I understand the importance of it. I'm going to vote, but it's just like, do you really have to shove it down our throats this much? Um, I will say this too. I'm gonna say this. After discovering that I have anxiety, I've become aware of like my triggers, right? And this election in general, like there's so much at stake, period. You hear about this project 2025, you hear about whatever they're talking about. And it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's like, dang, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Um, and it really pits us as an American people. We talk about democracy, we talk about coming together, but it really does pit us together. It's like, whose side are you on, good versus evil? Not saying either. I'm not saying, but good and evil, two sides. Gotta pick one. Two sides of a coin, choose it. And it's like, some people feel like they lose, some people they feel like they win. And I just remember, and I'm only using this as an example because I can remember in 2016. Matter of fact, what was my first ever election was Obama. Yeah, that's my first ever one, and I voted in that. That was cool. Obama era had it ups, had its downs, but it was solid for the most part. We saw a lot of progression for there. Like, people were able to buy houses and stuff like that. Um, the economy got better after a while, and nowadays I look into it, like, we had the pandemic. That was scary as hell. We didn't know what was going to happen then. A lot of uncertainty. A lot of doubt was placed in our government around that time. The world has changed drastically. Inflation is a thing. People struggling to buy houses. I can't tell you how many conversations I had with people about buying a house, and they're like, yo, I can't buy one, even though I want one. Us personally, right before the pandemic, we were looking to buy a house, and we got pre-qualified, all that. We're looking for one, and the house we liked at the time was about 250, and it was okay. Like, it was within our price range. But then after the pandemic, rates went up. That same house today is valued at like $350,000. They're building houses down the street from our house here for $400,000. And it's like, it's not a mansion. It's definitely not a mansion, because around the corner there are houses that are, to me, kind of like a mansion, and they were valued at $400,000. So it's just a lot. It's a lot at stake. It's a lot of uncertainty, and people are nervous. Like, that seems to be the consensus amongst everyone I've talked to about this, or people I just interact with. Like, everyone is uncertain. Early voting has started here in Georgia, so I do plan on voting early because I don't want to be caught up later on. But all I'm gonna say, if you plan on voting, do your research, and vote for what values align with you. Like, I know what aligns with me, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And and I hate that this movie came out, but The Purge election year. Every time there's an election year, that plays in my mind. Like, it's just like, in this Project 2025 thing just sounds scary as hell too. And it's like, imagine that. No, knock on wood, but imagine that kind of stuff happens. Like, what do you do? What do you do? If I ask my homie, he said, I'm pulling out my rifle. Like, he's stocked, he good, but he's like, it's too much. It's too much, man. And I'm tired of it. I really just want it to be over, or I just want to stop being bothered by it. So now that I have YouTube Premium, I don't see the ads anymore. I still hear them on the radio. I still see the videos online. Listen to the radio every morning. They're talking about it. There's always something new about it. It's like, no matter what I do, I can't escape it. So yeah, that's just been triggering my anxiety like crazy. Like, I'm just worried about it. Like, after November 5th, I just want to be like, but then I don't know, right? I don't really know, because back in 2016, there was so much uh, negativity. There was so much nervousness about it, and it was a tense election, and I couldn't stay up for the whole count, so I went to sleep. So the way I found out was the next day, and I was like, oh wow, you know, don't know how to feel, don't know what to expect. You never know what to expect with any president, no matter if it's your candidate or not. You really don't know. And all I remember is the next day in 2016, I went to work, and it was quiet. Like, it was packed at work, but it was quiet. Like, people in the office just, they didn't know how to feel. That election really tore people between their households and just in general. Like, it was, that was like a good or evil type thing, right? Because we didn't really know. We didn't know what was going to happen, and it was a scary time. The next day, it was just really quiet, really awkward, and I feel like it's going to be the same way this time around. And after the January 6th situation too, that was awkward. It was just, it's. Why am I talking about that? Anyway, I need something lighthearted. He's something lighthearted to talk about. My goodness, what is it? Oh, let's talk about Halloween. Halloween is coming up. We got a family costume. I'm going to be Batman. My wife's going to be Catwoman, and my daughter's going to be Batgirl. Halloween is my daughter's favorite holiday. She has had me watch The Nightmare Before Christmas about 5 or 6 times. She loves it. We're driving through the city. She's like, there's a Halloween house. She loves the sight of pumpkins and all that. She's not even excited about the candy. She's just excited about the fact, it's a holiday. And then throughout the year, it's one of those holidays that you really celebrate. You have all the other ones, Memorial Day, 4th of July and stuff, but those are just like, either celebration of July 4th or just, a day off to remember. But Halloween is one where you really get involved. You get dressed up. The season change, starts getting cold outside. New food items start coming up. I took her to a coffee shop the other week. She had pumpkin bread. It's exciting. So I kind of feel it. She makes me excited about it. I've been wanting to dress up for years, and it's the first year I've been in the shape I can to dress up. So I'm excited about it. And I get to dress up as my guy. Batman is my freaking guy. Like, he's somewhere around here. Shoot. There you go. You know what I mean? Like, Batman is my guy, and I get to dress up as him. So I'm excited. And I chose my favorite version of Batman, which is the Ben Affleck. You can fight me on that, but that is absolutely the best live action portrayal of Batman. Look, I love The Dark Knight, one of my favorite movies, but that Ben Affleck costume, he looks like Bruce Wayne, man. Like, he looks like him. Like, if you read the comics, he looks like him. And it's also my favorite version from I think I talked about this in my episode with Carl, actually. The Dark Knight Returns storyline, where he's older, he's on 50, he done been through some stuff. He's not holding back anymore. He's more brutal, he's more direct, and he has nothing to lose. That's actually the comic where he fought Superman and Will this behind. If you haven't seen it, watch the movies, please, because they're fantastic. Shout out to Frank Miller, the writer of that. Awesome. But yeah, I'm excited for that. It's change of season, holidays are coming. We're going to celebrate the Halloween as a family. And then we got Thanksgiving coming up. I'm down for that. Some bomb vegan Thanksgiving food. The beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes. You know the vibes. And then you got Christmas. Like these back to back. All these holidays happen within the course of a couple months. So it's going to be good times. I'm excited for that. Politics and all that aside, I'm excited for time with family and just good vibes. What else? The New Year's around the corner. This year went fast too. Like 2024 was just like boom. It started off rough. I'm not gonna hold you. You already know the situation. But it got a lot better. We're all in a better place mentally, physically, and whatnot. So I'm excited for a new year. See what that has to hold. That's exciting. I mean, more Apple Intelligent features will hopefully be out by then, but we'll see. So maybe my phone will be more worth it. I don't know. That's what's up. I mean, that's it. Actually, no, that's not it. That's not it. So to shift a little bit, I'm also a J. Cole fan. Say what you want. And Kendrick Lamar had a great year with 2024. I can't deny that. The year started off with First Person Shooter with Drake featuring J. Cole, where he referenced the big three, right? So the big three is basically the top three rappers in the game. So in that song, J. Cole had a verse saying, we the big three, like we started the league. Is it K. Dot, is it Aubrey or me? And that caused some controversy because Kendrick Lamar came back on the Like That Future track, talk about some F the big three, it's just big me, which is crazy. So at that point, this is just a little synopsis. At that point, Cole felt dissed by it, but he was also pressured by the community, his homies, and everybody like, yo, Kendrick beefing, yo, you got to respond. So he dropped 7 Minute Drill, which was a rap diss, which I thought was fire. So whatever. I mean, if you know Cole, you know Cole. So whatever. He took it. It was a light jab to his homie. They worked together so many times, he didn't really want to come for him. But anyway, that happened, but he apologized during his Dreamville event. He didn't really apologize. He just backtracked on the diss track, removed it from his album that came out and whatever. And people looked down on him. Well, anyway, long story short, Kendrick and Drake went back and forth. Kendrick won. Drake, he held his own. I'm impressed, but I didn't really expect much from him. Anyway, and J. Cole dropped out. So recently, J. Cole dropped a track called Port Antonio. It references, like, hey, these are my homies. I didn't want to walk around with blood on them. They made it personal. I thought it was just, friendly stuff. So I backed out. Like, it is what it is, but I'm still the best. And this is causing controversy in the fandom, as we talked about in the BlurCon episode, the fandom of J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick. And a lot of people are, disappointed in J. Cole. Like, not the Point Antonio's track is fire. People have agreed with that. Like, the song is fire. The lyrics are there. It's dope. But people are like, Cole, I don't know if I can respect you anymore. I don't know if you really call yourself the greatest, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to talk about that, right? Because I've been following J. Cole's career since like 2008, 2009, back when he was doing mixtapes. And I'm a fan. Been to almost every concert. I got a Forest Hill Drive sign from one of the concerts up here. I got almost all his albums on vinyl. Like, I'm tapped in. That's my boy. I appreciate him as a lyricist and as a rapper, and he has had an incredible run. No one can take that away from him. But I wanted to look at it as like, like, what he was saying was a real thing. Like, there really is a big three, right? If you think about people who have consistently put out good music, who have consistently been present in the music industry, in the rap industry, it's been Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole, but for different reasons, right? Cole isn't saying he's the greatest, like, to ever. I mean, he has, but he's not really saying that. He's really saying he is really untouchable right now. He has done so many features, out rap people on their own songs, made people step it up on their songs. There's people I've listened to who I've never listened to, like Moneybagg Yo, J Rock. I listened to a couple tracks, but not a lot of them. And like a couple other people, even Cash Cobain. I know people hate the grippy song, but I rock with it. I rock with it. And J. Cole really makes them step it up. Like, these are artists who I feel don't have real lyrical skills. They can make a hit, but they don't really have lyrics like that. They really stepping up on their tracks, and it's because they know their feature with Cole. Even Future, I do not like Future, and I'm sorry, my ATL friends. I know y'all really like that man, but I cannot stand that guy. But I did listen to his We Don't Trust You, and We Still Don't Trust You. Cole is featured on a Red Leather track on there, and that by far, to me personally, lyrically, might be one of Future's best songs, but also my favorite J. Cole verse of the year. Anyway, where was I going with this? Okay, so I look at the big three this way, right? And this is how I break it down. I may be wrong. Feel free to disagree with me. But when it comes to the big three, it is Kendrick, Drake, and Cole, but for different points. So when I think of lyrically, J. Cole. Kendrick, fantastic lyricist. Like, his songs are fire. He's great. Not saying that he's not, but Cole, literally, he has fun with it and really just puts good music out consistently. I have yet to hear a bad verse by him. His verse on the Benny the Butcher track, crazy. If I could play it without, getting whatever on YouTube, I would. But check it out. I'm gonna drop the art of it, name of it somewhere. Anyway, so lyrically, when it comes to the big three, J. Cole's there. When it comes to quantity and quality, is Drake, and variety is Drake. Like, Drake puts out good music. He's consistently done so for over a decade. It started with So Far Gone, but he's literally been on tons of songs, featured on tons of songs. He's had an incredible run. So when it comes to quantity and quality and like variety, this man could be a Jamaican. Like, he's from Canada, but he could be a Jamaican and make it sound fire. He just did the dance joint. I can't remember the name of the album, but the song was Sticky, and then like Massive, all them other joints. That was fire. Like, he really has not missed over the years. Like, granted, he does questionable things, but what celebrity doesn't? Unless he's been found guilty of it. Like, who cares? I'm here for the music. It is what it is. Now, if he's proven to have done some crazy stuff, to sure. But no. And then third, Kendrick. Not like third place, but I mean, like, number 3 is Kendrick. And that's for artistry. Like, his albums are stories. Good Kid, Mad City, Section 80, To Pimp a Butterfly, the Mr. Morale joint, they're all stories. And it's like an artistic way. That's why he doesn't drop as frequently as Drake, because he said in one of his songs, he's for the culture. He does something with a little more depth to it. And they're always good. He's been nominated for Grammys, won Grammys for some. He makes good music, but it's the artistry of it. Even his performances. I haven't been to a concert or anything, but I've seen videos of it. I've seen him perform on, not music videos, award shows, and they've been good. Like he puts a lot of art into his music, and I like that. Right? Not saying Cole and Drake don't, but I mean when it comes to a different level, it's like watching and listening to poetry when it comes to Kendrick. So it kind of upset me when he came like, after Big Three, it's just me thing. I'm like, I didn't see it as a diss. Like, why not? Why would you not want to be associated with it? I love how we did the switch up. It went from the dramatic stuff, the Teslas and the Androids and shit, to this. So yeah. So I'm here. I'm here for the Big Three. Right now, that Not Like Us track is really destroyed Drake, and I don't know if he can come back from it. I really don't. I really don't. They play it everywhere. They play it multiple times. Like they use it for memes. Like he just dropped the track with with Sexy Red. Um, eh, eh. Um, Not Like Us really killed him for rocking with the ATL folk, 2 Chainz, Quavo, all them, and they ain't rocking no songs with him. Young Thug, Free Slime. I've been watching that court case too. That's bruh. But anyway, I don't know, but I like the Big Three. I like all three of them. I listen to all three of them. J. Cole is my favorite, but I listen to all three of them. And people ain't rocking with Cole after the apology, but me, I don't know. Following his story, following his life. I'm invested in the J. Cole image, and it didn't bother me for the apology. It makes sense. I mean, the guy literally rides his bike around New York City. He's worth millions, but rides his bike around New York City. He's a chill dude. I done seen pictures of him on the beach, just on his computer, taking pictures with fans. I done seen him pull up to the fans bumping into him at the Tesla dealership. I've seen he's just chill, man. He's just chill. So for him to apologize, and the crazy part is, what kills me is, like, I was watching the Dreamville video. He apologized before one of his songs called "Love Yours," where the song is literally about loving what you have, and he said that's the song that brought him like closest to God, because he had to internalize, like, stop comparing yourself to others. He apologized before he started performing that song. It had impact. It had, like, depth to it. But people just looked at it, oh, he apologized, that's corny. Don't get me wrong, I would have absolutely loved to have a rap battle between all three of them. All three of them going back to back, fire. Am I sad that it didn't happen? Absolutely. Am I glad it didn't go down the way it went down with the Kendrick and Drake thing? Because that went a lot deeper than some rap. Yes, because that's too much. And I can understand why Cole backed out. But as a Cole fan, and people knowing I'm a Cole fan, I've had to, sit through the memes. My homie messaging me during the beef like, Cole could never. It's just funny. But Port Antonio is the newest track, and I think it's just a prequel to the Fall Off album. But it's fire. I have no qualms about it. I like it. It is what it is. Cole is the GOAT. But it is what it is. But that's about it, man. That's about it. I just want to drop in and say what's up to y'all. Drop this episode. I got a couple things, planned. It's just about the execution and scheduling. But one thing I want to talk about, not now, but coming up, is the anime that I like, My Hero Academia. It just ended. The series just ended, and it's a lot of controversy behind it. And I'm gonna have some of my homies on here. We're gonna talk about it. So for my nerds, my blurs, whatever you are, if you tapped into that series, let's talk about it, because people not rocking with the ending. And me as a hardcore, am I hardcore? I mean, my boy Deku right there on my wall. I rock with the series, but I watched it from beginning to end, and I love the ending. I love it. But we're gonna talk about that when we get to it. But until then, peace, happy holidays to you. If I don't make another episode by Halloween, happy Halloween. But I'm gonna see y'all soon. Appreciate you tapping in. Peace.